Agribusiness brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff. Progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Thanks for staying with us this morning. We're in Holton at the Jackson County Livestock Association Expo, and we're joined by Sarah. It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
We always catch up every once in a while. Every 3 or 4 months we get to catch up. This time last year we were out at Premier Farm and Home, and it was cold.
Yes, it was.
This winter's a little different. It's been a little warmer winter.
It has been.
Let's talk about rations versus cold winters versus kind of mild winters, which we're kind of in.
We are.
How much does that change?
It changes tremendously, and this year, kind of coupled with the drought, it kind of puts a different twist on it. If this was a dry and mild winter and we had ample hay supplies, we wouldn't probably be having any trouble at all meeting our energy requirements with the feedstuffs that we have on hand. But this year, since we've had not very much hay out there, and the quality is good, there's just not a lot of quantity, and then we have a lot of producers utilizing corn silage and utilizing corn stock. We think we're doing a good job of delivering energy, but even with the mild winter, most of the time we're short on energy. And we talked about that today in the presentations about the need for evaluating your cows, to look at your cows objectively, and what we call that is body condition score, which is a visual appraisal of your cow's body energy reserves, and deciding, am I delivering enough energy to the cow? And what could I do to enhance the quality of my forage or fill the gap from that gap as in regards to what I'm not meeting as far as our energy requirements.
Is energy equal pounds?
Energy equals pounds in a certain sort of way. We talk about energy in form of TDN pounds that we're delivering a cow. And if you get with someone like myself or anyone at any of our locations, your feed consultant, they can guide you and they can say, well, we know your hay has 50% TDN, which makes 12 pounds of energy that you're delivering your cow, and you can do the math on it, realizing that every cow has a requirement for certain pounds of protein, certain pounds of energy, certain pounds of dry matter every single day.
Well, what are we mixing? I mean, I heard you talk earlier, corn stalks are dry, which means there's not much moisture in them,
right,
which makes them not as good as they normally would be if we had a wet fall. So what are we mixing into our rations right now to ensure that we get the energy we need in that daily poundage gain?
Right. Well, basically, we are mixing energy sources that sometimes can come from grain, 3 or 4 pounds of a grain mix. Higher proteins are better because the higher the protein, the more the fiber utilization that we get out of poor quality forage. We also, in some cases, are treating some of these poor quality forages with protein, liquid protein. We're putting it right on there, which increases palatability and consequently increases intake, and that's what we're kind of after. So also just commercial supplements like tubs, like blocks, anything we can do to kind of fill that gap. But yes, you're right, silages are carrying lower moisture, poor quality. It's harder to get that cow to eat as much as we want her to eat.
Well, let's take a quick break if that's all right, and when we come back, let's talk about calving season and some of the nutritional requirements we're going to need during this season. You're watching Ag AM in Kansas. We'll see you in just a minute.
Agribusiness brought to you by Tarwater Farm and Home. Come on by. We'll treat you like family.
Thanks for staying with us, Sarah. Thank you for staying with us. Calving season, nutrition for that cow, not only that cow, but that calf.
All right. Well, we're talking about energy. We've talked about that in the past. However, now all of a sudden we've got that cow that's calving, and we want to make sure that we're providing a good mineral program for her so she can pass that through to her calf, so that calf's immune system is strong and that calf is healthy and growing vigorously. We also want to concentrate on protein because protein makes milk and milk makes calf weight, and our goal as a cow-calf producer is to maximize weaning weight. So all along we need to get that calf moving forward and gaining as quickly as possible. So obviously we need to be mindful of the health of that calf from the get-go, but actually moving that calf along, getting that calf to harvest the milk from the cow and start foraging. And when that calf starts foraging and maybe utilizing creep that's out there, then that calf starts to gaining like a house of fire, and you're going to end up weaning off a 500 or 600 pound calf pretty easily at 6 months of age, not weaning off a 5 weight as a year.
Right, exactly,
yeah.
right.
Because that happens.
Well, yeah, and we're talking about dollars saved to the producer. I mean, if we can get that calf off that mom quickly, we get her back into production automatically or much quicker.
Right.
That's more money. I mean, every calf that hits the ground, that's money for the producer.
And actually, you know, we sometimes think about creeping in a negative way, but creeping has so many benefits, not only for the calf, but for the cow. And like you alluded to, if we can creep that calf and give that cow a little bit of rest, if you will, she can use some of those nutrients for her own body reserves. We've asked that cow to kind of support that calf. Now we're giving her a little bit of help. She's going to settle in pregnancy easier and quicker and just be more productive and breed back and keep that yearly calving interval that our goal is.
Well, not only that, as we maintain a body condition score on that cow, that will help her as we come into the fall. She's pregnant again.
Yeah.
She's got reserves to live on.
Exactly, exactly.
Some of the new products maybe that Perina's got coming out, you want to touch on those?
New products on the cattle side that we've got coming out, of course, you know, our IM technology, intake modifying technology, where we supplement energy and protein through self-fed program. That's not new, but it's gaining gusto because a lot of these folks don't have hay, and they're looking for programs where they can not have to feed hay. And we have a program that's called the AccuRation Impact Grower and Impact Finisher program that are ideal programs for self-fed cattle without hay, and that's very unique in the industry. Another new twist on things, this year all of our mineral in this part of the world will have a storm formula attached to the label. It's wind and rain storm formula, which basically allows it to shed moisture, if we ever get any, better, so you got less shrink and higher intakes on your mineral. Not over intakes, just higher intakes. So that's important, and that's going to be coming down the line. We'll be doing lots of mineral meetings coming up in the next 60 days. Your producers will be enjoying specials and promotions on that, but I guess I would just challenge you, kind of backing up to that calf, put your mineral out, creep your calves now, and then remember to provide a good starter program for the calves.
And we remind everybody is if you've got any questions, go to your local
Perina dealer.
Yeah, Perina dealer, talk to them. They're more than willing to help you out. A lot of people, we've just got a few seconds left here, a lot of people are adding nutritionists to their kind of overall herd management.
Yeah.
Good point?
Good, certainly. There's an expense with that, but there's also an expense not to get good nutritional advice. That's what we provide. Our company, as well as other companies like ours, do nutrition. We do ration work. I do that. And objectively, not just trying to shove my products in there, but meeting cow requirements. That's what it's all about. It's not about cow cost per ton of feed. It's cost to feed a cow every single day of the year. And we can help you manage that.
Perfect. Sarah, it's good to see you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.